Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Now at 6, brawl on the basketball court. Athletic events postponed in one district after court chaos breaks out.
Plus, local lawmakers reintroduce gun safety legislation.
Ethan's death was not an outlier. Gun violence is now the leading cause of death for our children.
The fight continues to pass Ethan's law.
Plus, tax breaks for small businesses.
Everything we've done is try to make it a little easier for you to start a business here in Connecticut, grow a business here in Connecticut, expand here in Connecticut.
The governor's plan to save owners millions of dollars.
And golfing in January, unseasonably warm weather brings players to the tees in short sleeves. The Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
And we begin with a weather alert. Thanks for joining us for the news at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez, talking about the warm day out there on the links. But another change could be headed our way. Here's the sun that we saw shining in Hartford this afternoon. Look at this beautiful time lapse before the sunset just about an hour or so ago. But we hear things are about to change.
Oh, no, say it ain't so. I like the sun. But yeah, we are in a weather watch alert for what's to come. Heavy rain headed our way. But when will it arrive?
Meteorologist Ryan Breton joining us now with a look at the timing of it all. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Sarah and Brent. Good to be with you tonight. Yeah, the weather changing in a big way tomorrow, and it's all about location, as it often is here in Connecticut. If you're at the shoreline, this is an all-rain event, and you may get around or just over an inch of rain in spots. For most of interior Connecticut, it may start out as a little bit of snow or sleet, but quickly change over to rain. So for most of us, this is a rainstorm. However, in the hills, especially northwest Connecticut, that's where a longer period of sleet and freezing rain is possible, with some icy spots tomorrow afternoon and evening. A winter weather advisory up for both tomorrow and also for Friday for Hartford and Litchfield County. For tomorrow, it's the icy spots in that wintry mix. For Friday, we may have some lingering snow showers after the storm goes by. Quiet out there now, but here is the storm off to the west, and it's quickly heading our way. So as you head out the door tomorrow morning, there won't be any problems. But by about lunchtime, precipitation overspreading the state. It's wet in southern Connecticut by noon, beginning in the Hartford area at that point, possibly as a couple of snowflakes, but quickly going over to rain. Notice where the mix hangs on, though, the northwest hills, and that's where there are some concerns for icy spots tomorrow afternoon and evening. We'll talk about a very active weather pattern ahead coming up.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Some hot heads get the best of a high school basketball game between teams in Middletown and Hartford, and the whole thing was caught on camera.
Yeah, the boys' varsity game last night ended in a brawl with punches and kicks and chaos. Fox 61's Matt Karen is live in Middletown now with some video you will only see here on Fox 61. Matt.
Yeah, that's right. And since that brawl, we have learned that police have become aware of a rumored threat of retaliation. So out of an abundance of caution, the district here in Middletown has decided to cancel all home athletic events for tonight. And the superintendent has activated the school's crisis team. All right, we are having a problem with the story. We'll get back to that in just a moment. But believe it or not, this was not the only incident of this type of a situation happening today. A second high school basketball fight broke out actually Monday night at the Wilbur Cross versus Bassett game in New Haven. But in regard to this particular situation, police are going to be reviewing all of the video that is involved to see if any criminal charges are warranted, and the school district will be reviewing the video to determine if any internal discipline was warranted. The video shows punches and kicks, and we know that both students and adults got involved in this. We don't know exactly what led up to it or how it started. That is all currently being investigated. One person did suffer some minor injuries, but certainly an active situation that the police are looking into, and hopefully we'll get you that video as soon as we can. We're live here in Middletown. Matt Karen, Fox 61 News.
All right, hopefully, Matt, we'll be able to get your full story back. All right, the Massachusetts man accused of killing his wife appeared in court today. Brian Walsh arraigned in a Quincy district court this morning. Prosecutors revealed his disturbing internet search history in the days after Anna went missing.
At 4:55 a.m. on January 1st, he searched how long before a body starts to smell. At 4:58 a.m., how to stop a body from decomposing.
Now, Brian faces a murder charge as well as improper transport of a body. He previously pled not guilty to charges that he misled police. The mother of three was last seen at her home on New Year's Day. The couple's three boys remain in state custody.
And some people are noticing eerie similarities between the Anna Walsh disappearance and that of Jennifer Dulos. Police in Connecticut are still searching for Dulos. Jennifer Dulos was first reported missing in the spring of 2019 and ultimately presumed dead at the hands of her husband. Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez is in studio with reaction from domestic violence prevention advocates on the similarities of the two cases. Samaya.
Yeah, there's now a law in Connecticut in Jennifer Dulos' honor. It's meant to protect victims of domestic violence, and advocates say that domestic violence is a public health crisis. They hope these high-profile cases help raise awareness.
New Canaan mom of 5, Jennifer Dulos, has not been found. Massachusetts mom of 3, Anna Walsh, also has not been found. Both cases upgraded from missing persons to presumed homicides at the hands of their husbands.
It's happening in every community across every state.
12 people were killed in Connecticut last year by intimate partners, 16 the year before. And every year, roughly 26,000 people call this Glastonbury Center to seek guidance or help with intimate partner situations. Megan Scanlon is CEO of Connecticut Coalition Against Domestic Violence, one of the agencies that helped change state law last year in honor of Dulos.
But it was the first time that judges had a way of really mandating a restraining order around non-physical forms of violence.
Connecticut courts can now consider coercive control when issuing restraining orders, something Dulos laid out to the courts before she vanished. In 2014, Anna Walsh told police Brian Walsh threatened to kill her and a friend. That was years before authorities found blood evidence in the basement of her home, charging Brian with murder. One thing about domestic violence cases, they're usually complex.
There is this power and control dynamic that is really essential to the relationship. And victims don't necessarily want the offender or abuser completely out of their lives. A lot of times there's children involved. They do on some level have affection for them or love for them.
We never know where it's going to end.
For investigators, the biggest motivator, the children and loved ones left behind. Anna has 3 children now in state care. Jennifer's kids are with her.
The effect that it has on the family, trying to get closure for the family, trying to get the answers for the family and friends and everybody else that's involved, because people want to know what happened. People want to know why it happened.
If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, you can call or text the 24-hour hotline. The number's on your screen. Samaya Hernandez, Fox 61 News.
All right, thank you, Samaya. And new tonight, local police say a man hid in the back seat of a woman's car and tried robbing her, that is. That man is now in police custody. And Sonia police were flagged down on Pershing Drive by a woman who said a man was in her car and tried stealing her purse. The woman fought him off and then he ran. Police eventually arrested Adiel Viana Ribeiro. He's charged with third-degree burglary and attempted robbery charges. A wanted man arrested after a police chase in East Haven appears before a judge. Police say Nicholas Gambardella led them on a chase earlier this month, but today Gambardella was charged with several outstanding arrest warrants not related to the case. Police say after crashing in East Haven, Gambardella ran across both the north and southbound lanes of I-95 after crashing. Police say it appeared Gambardella was reaching for something and turned towards the officers. That's when officers fired shots, but he was not hit. No weapon was found on Gambardella or near him.
A 15-year-old from Pennsylvania has been arrested in connection with a swatting incident in East Lyme. According to police, the teen called 911 back in August saying his brother shot and possibly killed his father. A large-scale response was launched before police eventually realized it was a hoax. Police were able to trace back the call. The teen has been charged and faces several charges, including falsely reporting an incident and misuse of the 911 system.
Supporters of legislation that would allow medically assisted suicide in Connecticut speak speak at the Capitol, showing photos of people who died while waiting for a law to be passed. If passed, the bill, called MAID, would allow terminally ill but mentally competent patients the right to choose medical aid in dying. Kira Phillips says she watched her mother become so sick, she eventually took her own life.
I'm advocating for MAID because this trauma and this violence that we experienced could have been avoided if my mom had been able to use MAID.
Others at the event voiced their frustrations for the legislation push, saying a universal health care system is needed to aid the sickest.
We desperately need universal health care with complete coverage, including everything that makes it possible for a human being to survive.
The portraits are open to the public and will be up through February 1st in the hallway between the Capitol and Legislative Office building.
The Roman Catholic Diocese of Norwich has proposed a plan to exit bankruptcy after abuse claims. The plan would establish a $29 million trust to settle 142 sexual abuse claims. The diocese filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy last summer because of its inability to pay out dozens of lawsuits alleging abuse of teenagers at the former academy at Mount St. John School in Deep River. Well, Campbell's Soup Company is consolidating its snacks office in Norwalk. The company says it will now invest $50 million in its New Jersey headquarters. No roles are being eliminated in the closing, and employees will be offered to relocate. The company's Pepperidge Farm Bakery, located in Bloomfield, will not be impacted by this consolidation.
UConn men's basketball head coach Dan Hurley and associate head coach Kamani Young will miss tonight's game against Seton Hall after testing positive, both of them, for COVID-19. Just last week, assistant coach Tom Moore tested positive and missed a game. Both Hurley and Young are expected to return to team activities after an isolation period and an absence of symptoms.
Still to